These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone. See, I am the best, never ever settle for less.
Luca?
See, I am the best, never ever settle for less.
It's game time.
It's King on the mic, what you looking at? It's King on the mic, what you looking for?
LeBron?
It's King on the mic, what you looking at? It's King on the mic, what you looking
Tatum
for?
Brown?
Calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
Check.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever
What's
leave
good,
me
Shay?
alone. It's King on the mic, what you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking for?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking for?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at? These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
Hey, you a toaster, baby?
It's King's production, baby.
Olúwa bá mi mú fóònù mi.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone. These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
NBA Fantasy 2023, baby.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me
Scotty
alone.
Duhati?
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me
I said
alone.
again.
See, I am the best, never ever settle for less.
Luca?
See, I am the best, never ever settle for less.
It's game time.
It's King on the mic, what you looking at? It's King on the mic, what you looking for?
LeBron?
It's King on the mic, what you looking at? It's King on the mic, what you looking
Tatum
for?
Brown?
Calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
Check.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever
What's
leave
good,
me
Shay?
alone. King on the mic, what you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking for?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking for?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at? These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
Hey, you a toaster, baby?
It's King's production, baby.
Olúwa bá mi mú fóònù mi.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone. These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
NBA Fantasy 2023, baby.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me
Scotty
alone.
Duhati?
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me
I said
alone.
again.
See, I am the best, never ever settle for less.
Luca?
See, I am the best, never ever settle for less.
It's game time.
It's King on the mic, what you looking at? It's King on the mic, what you looking for?
LeBron?
It's King on the mic, what you looking at? It's King on the mic, what you looking
Tatum
for?
Brown?
Calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
Check.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever
What's
leave
good,
me
Shay?
alone. King on the mic, what you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking for?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking for?
It's King on the mic.
What you looking at? These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
Hey, you a toaster, baby?
It's King's production, baby.
Olúwa bá mi mú fóònù mi.
These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone. These people calling my brick phone, they won't ever leave me alone.
NBA Fantasy.
Hello, yeggooner back again with another one. Hello, bro. Road to 1,000k. You know how we do, baby. Trying to get 1,000 followers. Anyone that's here right now, please like and subscribe. You feel me? If this is your first time tuning in, we're about to get into the football. This is not a NBA stream. Been doing those throughout the international break. Been doing fantasy drafts and all that stuff. But now we're gonna talk. It is gonna be very loaded with Arsenal. Really loaded with Arsenal. But usually, what I like to do is throw out a question to everybody. Just say, "How was your day?" You know, how was your day? You feel me? And like, what did you do? For me personally, me and the missus, we were watching something on Prime like till late. We finished the season, and then I woke up early, you know, daddy duties and whatnot. And bro, I was just doing that Barcelona FM thing. You feel me? I was doing that Barcelona FM thing. Got them playing free in the back. I don't think these guys are used to playing free in the back. You feel me? That you never seen a Barcelona team be playing free in the back. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Lewandowski's just balling out. The guy's got 22 goals already. And we're just in Jan, you feel me? 22 goals, we're in Jan, I'm top of the table. You know how we do, baby. We don't lack when it comes to that, you feel me? Our managerial skills are on point. Our tactical skills are on point. And Yeah, man, that's how it is for me. You feel me? And like, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the football that happened last match week. I'm gonna go over my fantasy team. I changed it a little bit, bro. I changed my fantasy team a little bit, my FPL. The reason being, I used that wild card, man. I'll get into that when we're talking about it. But like, with the okay, so I'm gonna talk about the Arsenal game first because that's the hot topic, and this is what I gotta say about the game. In my personal opinion, I predicted a 2-0, and I think the game was going towards a 2-0. People keep saying that we look shaky defensively, but this is what I gotta say. You're not always gonna have the ball, and when the opposition gets into your half, what chance do they create? Is it a high percentile chance? And I'm gonna talk about XG and none of that crap. I'm talking about you're looking with your eyes. I'm like, oh, are they gonna score that? And how did they create that chance? Reason I say how, the Aston Villa game, they had high percentile chances, but how did those chances come? They came from mistakes, so that's not creative play. It came from mistakes, not creative play. You could say it's pressuring, right? The Gabriel mistake, you could say that was pressuring and they've created that on their own, or you could say it was a foul. It's a 50-50, you feel me? If the goal was gone in, VAR would have determined whether it was a goal or not. Well, Ollie Watkins, he flopped on that thing, you get me? The second one, bro, that's just Gabriel did the right thing. He blocked a shot. It went towards Raya. Raya put it back towards them. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, they kind of created chance. They created 2 chances, but really and truly they created one big chance, and the second chance was just football. It was just football. Just a ball bouncing. It's just football. Now, when I get back to the Brighton game, congrats to them. Bro, I still don't know your manager's name. I don't know the man's name still. And I don't care. I honestly don't care. Next stream, I'll know the man's name. But with the Brighton game, what I would say is I'm going to get into the red card. If all last season, we're saying that the referees were garbage. Right? So there's 2 packed and loaded things. Some fans say the referees manage Arsenal games terribly, and the referees are bad for Arsenal. And the other side of the coin where I sit on is that they're just rubbish. They're bad at their job. So you know they're bad at their job. Okay? You know they're bad at their job. You know they cost you points last season, which, in my opinion, we lost multiple factors. But you can say there were some decisions that you could be like, okay, yeah, that cost us that game, and that cost us points. You can say that. There are also obviously multiple reasons, and those reasons, in my opinion, outweigh the referee decisions, right? And so where I'm going with that is that Declan Rice, you should know as a leader on my team, on my club, right? You should know that the referees are never in our favor, right? You should know the referees are never in our favor. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down how I looked at what happened. First of all, Veltman gets up. He rolls the ball to Declan Rice's legs. At that point, Declan Rice has a decision. And you should always be alert when you're in a game. You are a leader on the pitch. You know the rules, and you know the referees are always against us. At that point, he has a decision to make. And at that point, he decides, the ball's rolled next to me, I'm going to flick it. I don't know why he flicks it. We don't know if it's time wasting, because that's the whole thing about the thing, is time wasting. But the whole and then Veltman kicks him right after. 2 things with the kick. 1, he's not getting that ball ever. That's violent conduct. That's violent play. He should get either a yellow or a red, straight up. That's a yellow or red. Second, in my opinion, the tap that happened on the ball, it is semantics. But they said kicking a ball. If we want to use words to their full definition, that's not a kick, that's a flick. But regardless, don't give them anything don't give them something to call on. And the reason why I'm saying this is because don't give them anything to call on is because you know how bad they were last season and what it did to us and what it cost us. And so I fully blame Declan Rice, not for the points dropped, but for the red card incident. Does that make sense? I blame him for the red card incidents, not for the points dropped, right? But I also believe, right, that the referees have been terrible this season. I'm not talking just Arsenal occurrences, but I'll give Arsenal occurrences, right? That Wolves defender should have seen red for what he did to Kai Havertz. Veltman, actually not even that, Kai Havertz, and even if you want to give him a yellow for that, but what you do to Jesus as well, that's like, first of all, like, it's dark arts. South Americans do that kind of thing all the time, right? It's first of all, it's disgusting. I hope he washed his hands, but I didn't see him have pink eye next game, so he definitely washed his hands. But like, what is the point of VAR? Like, what is the point? And I need, like, what are they doing in the office? Are they playing Fortnite? Because you could see what he's done, and so when you've seen it, you should be like, hey, yo, we're seeing something that's been done. This is exactly what I'm seeing. I'm gonna describe it to you. If you want to see it, it's up to you, but this is what I'm describing to you. And then you describe it, and if the ref is like, yo, that's wild, he should get a yellow as well, and that's calm. Maybe I need to just read the VAR, like the full manual, because to me, it just doesn't make any sense. You should be constantly watching the game, and when there's a stop in play and there's any cause, you should be looking at the multiple angles and then being like eyes and ears. You get what I'm trying to say? It's how do I best describe? No X-Men, no Charles Xavier, right? I don't know if y'all watch X-Men 97, but when Charles Xavier came back from where he was, the Xi'an army or whatever, and he said, my X-Men come to me, they don't know he's there, but he said that in their minds, so that it's like, okay, he's here, we'll come, we're coming. That's what VAR should do. They should see things, and if they see something, be like, hey, yo, like, we saw this is, I'm gonna describe what I have seen. Bilbo on the other side over here, he's got a different angle, he sees the same thing. Jefferson on the other side over there, he's not playing Fortnite, he's not playing Civilization, he's not playing FM, right? He's seen the same thing, and this is what we both conclude is what's happening. This man them just put a finger in his bum. Yellow card. Yeah, we think that's a yellow card offense. That's like, first of all, it's not violent conduct, but it's sexual assault. It's sexual, you know what I'm trying to say? It's sexual, you know, because you like, we don't know his orientation. We don't know what side and what lane he floats with. We don't know what spectrum on the rainbow he is. So we don't know what he likes. We don't know what kind of food he likes. He might like eating that. You know? He might like eating that. He might have licked his fingers afterwards. We don't know. But to me, you touch a man them over there, that's a yellow card. It's harassment. Right? In fact, if Jesus, I don't even know, if Jesus was out and about and he did that to Jesus, he could press charges. Real talk, he could press charges. What he did to, bro, is this guy's 50 shades. Let's be real. He was 50 shades. But that's besides the point. My point is the refereeing so far, in my opinion, is that Joelinton clothesline as well. The Hughes thing with Crystal Palace as well, with like, it's been really bad. And so I'm going to just talk a little bit more about the refereeing for the Declan Rice thing, and then get a little bit back into the actual game. And this is another thing I need to discuss. Because people keep using the analogy that if you park in a place where nobody gets, or in Canada we don't have yellow lines, right? But let's just say you park in a place that your car will get towed or you get a ticket, right? A car get towed or you get a ticket. Everyone parks there, no one gets a ticket, but then you park there, you get a ticket. There's an analogy everyone's using. This analogy is missing one thing, and one vital thing. The ticket warden is there. He's on the bench right there. The ticket warden's on the bench eating his lunch, and he's seeing everything. And so the ticket warden's seeing everyone parked there and not giving cards or not giving tickets. But then Declan Rice parks there and he gets a ticket. But the problem, and the thing I will say, is that, like, that's inconsistent. is poor game management, because he wouldn't have parked there if you had been giving everyone a ticket before, because there's been an occasion where he saw someone do the same thing and didn't get a ticket. But that's besides the point. It's still on Declan Rice, because he should know either that the badge that you're wearing, it changes how they look at you, or the way everything planned out last season, we're fighting for something bigger. We can't make decisions like that. So I fully blame Declan Rice. But the referee did not manage that game properly. Should have gave the yellow card right away over there. Their left back should have got a red card, in my personal opinion. He did three over the top kind of challenges on Saka. One involving an elbow, one involving a drop kick towards the end of the whistle over there, and a pullback on his shirt right away in the beginning of the game. Those are 3 occurrences where he should have got a card. Danny Welbeck did this. Letter of the law, should have got a yellow as well. But like I said before, the ticket warden's sitting down. He's eating his sandwich. He had Subway, maybe he had Tim Hortons, Dunkin' Donuts. He's sitting down. He's not giving no tickets. He just finished eating his lunch. He brushed the crumbs off. He saw Declan Rice. He's like, oh, he's playing for this badge. Let's give it to him. Let's set an example for him, right? And so with that game, besides the red card incident, the one thing I would say as well is that basically you're 1-0 up. You have 2 options: park the bus 1-0 to the Arsenal, or go for it. I'm judging by the sub that Arteta was like, we have a good defense, park the bus, go for it. But before the sub could even get in, we weren't organized enough to close the gap. Saliba was caught slacking. Gabriel didn't challenge after the passes. Duncan's put the challenge in. Gabriel's challenge wasn't strong enough. Raya did a great job saving the initial shot, but the rebound went in. 1-1. That's all she wrote. I'm not gonna hammer down on Kai Havertz's opportunity. I'm gonna hammer down on Saka a little bit, because after Kai Havertz's opportunity, Saka should have scored right after that. He should have scored from Kai Havertz's cross. But people like to talk about Kai when he's playing and the things he doesn't do. But when he's not playing, they forget he's a striker for some reason. They forget that he's a striker for some reason. But that's besides the point. I'm actually going to get onto that later on, where I have a video that I'm going to, kind of break down, do some commentary on, and we'll talk about that there. Then I'm going to go on to Chelsea, or West London Blue Cowboys. They are officially West London Blue Cowboys until the end of the season. They're not, like, people kept saying that they're going to get top 4. And I watched a channel called Never Foul. There's a guy on the channel that, Liverpool fan, I love the way he breaks everything down. He pisses me the hell off because he's so intelligent with his wordplay and how he disses my club. But he says it's all fun and games till a ball's kicked, and I 100% agree with that with that statement. It's all fun and games until a ball's kicked. What that means is that you're watching the transfer window and you're getting dopamine from all of the transfers that's going on, right? You're getting that dopamine, you're getting that fix, and the only thing you care about is the transfers, but you're not thinking about the fact that the coach has to still coach. You still have to have tactics. You still have to go through games and win. And Crystal Palace, that's a game you should be winning. If you guys are saying you're top 4, that's a game you should be winning. So you've lost to Servette midweek. You beat Wolf. You beat Wolf, not Wolves. You beat Wolf, and then you're getting all gassed, even though you only played one half of football. You lost to City, and they just walked by you. So 1-1-1. Like, that's not, like, from the way it's looking, and from my prediction, y'all ain't making top 4. Get that out your heads, man. You're like, win the Conference League and get Europa. That's your best shot of getting into a higher competition. If not, you're looking at Conference League again. I'm saying it right now with what's going on with the takeover issues. And what I mean by takeover issues is that, or a civil war, let's just say that, civil war. If that's not sorted out, correct me if I'm wrong, if that's not sorted out before January, you can't sign anyone. You can't, because you have 2 opposing sides with different visions. Unless they're going to sit down and say, yeah, we can do signings. But that's usually not what happens. When there's a takeover going on, and because it's an internal takeover, I do believe Abramovich did have something where they can't sell. But because it's an internal takeover, it's not really selling. It's just buying more shares. When stuff like that happens, to the best of my knowledge, your transfer windows are not there until you sort that out. And so Chelsea, Man City, everyone's afraid of Man City. They're conceding the league to them already. I'm not conceding the league. I'm not saying everything's going according to my plan, but I just believe that you can't judge the way everything's going to go until after 10 games have been played. We saw what happened with Spurs last season. Arsenal are in the exact same spot we were to date last season. Well, in your head you're like, that's bad because we lost by 2 points and we had 7 points last season, but it is what it is. There's still so much games of football to be played. But Holland is firing. He didn't play any international football. He had a full break, had a full rest. He was refreshed. He's firing right now, and he's looking really good. People are gassing up Savio. People are gassing up Doku. People are over-gassing the Gundogan signing. And this is not me throwing any hate or any shade. Great addition, but he doesn't improve the starting lineup. And what City fans are saying is that he's just going to come on to see out a game. So that means you still have to do work to finish the game for him to see out the game. You still have to have your starting 11 do work. Then he comes in and see out the game. And then rotation for Champions League. Great rotational player. He played amazing for Barcelona last season. I'm not discrediting Gundogan, but I feel like it's overly gassed. You signed 2 players in the window, right? And if you ask me, Savio's an anomaly. What I would say is that is his name the guy you guys signed from Wolves? Is it Nunez? What I would say is that usually under Pep Guardiola, after one season, players then start to have the proper training. They not fully understand the system, but they've got their first kind of badge in the system. They finished their first prerequisite, and now they start to ball out. I'm a little bit more afraid of his progression than I am of Gundogan playing 25 plus games in the season. That's just me. So if you ask me, they haven't really improved too much. Liverpool won all 3 of the games. The way that they play defensively is more compact, more as a team. They control games a little bit better, so they're able to defend better. And that's got everyone to start saying that Liverpool are into the title race. I said this from the get-go. One thing I will say is everyone going to say that if Liverpool win anything this season, I'm going to say he won it with that Slot won it with a Klopp team, because you won't get that narrative with Liverpool if they win anything. Because to the best of my knowledge, they've only bought 1 player, and he's a squad rotational player at the moment, in my eyes. And so are people going to say that they won with a Klopp team versus a Slot team? Because they did that to my guy Arteta. But that's besides the point. Yeah, man, I'm not going to talk about Tottenham. I'm not going to waste my time on Chicken Ball FC. I'll talk about them when I'm talking about the North London derby. Like, bun Chicken Ball FC, bun Man United. There's nothing to say about them. They're trash. I think that my thoughts after the Brighton game, when I was like, yo, the Brighton manager's just playing around with them. He wants them to have the ball. I think that my thoughts were correct, because Slot basically, I don't need to tell y'all anything. Slot said everything. Let's get to the FPL. I kept David Raya. Yeah, I kept David Raya. You see me? Wait, let me change the way it is. Where it is? Does it full list transfers? Where? No, let me just leave it. Yeah, I got rid of Wait, no, this is showing. No, next week. Yeah, there we go. This is better. Okay, so yeah, I used my wild card. I kept Raya because Raya's Raya. You get me? I kept Gabriel. He's done well for me. I've left Ian Matson on because they're playing Everton next game. And if you know my views on Everton, they're going down this season. It's so obvious that they're trash. They're trash. I think they're going down this season. If not, they're flirting with it. Everton and Wolf are gonna be flirting with the relegation for the teams with Southampton, Ipswich, and Ipswich. Who's the third one? Leicester. Yeah. I left Trent because Trent's performing really well. I believe he got Team of the Week last season. Last week. Bowen, I added Bowen in instead of Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is just like, Manchester United. That's all I got to say. I've left Saka in. He got Team of the Week again. He's been giving consistent GA. North London derby. He loves Spurs. He really does. I got rid of Son, and I've brought in Luis Diaz, and I brought in Smith Rowe, just because he's cheap and a cheap alternative. And this is the big one. I've brought in Big Earl, Erling Holland, because they're playing Brentford next game. Haaland loves to score against Brentford, and he loves to score in general. I've made him my captain. I went strong on strikers early on, and it didn't do me well because it's too much money and they'll just misfiring. And so then I've got Eddie Nketiah in. I do. This is the thing. I don't know if Mateta or Nketiah are going to start, or if they're going to play both of them. I don't know, but they're playing Leicester next game. That's simple. They're playing Leicester. I got João Pedro, not because he scored against Arsenal, but because they're playing Ipswich next game. And if he does play, he like, it's Ipswich. Simple. There it is. I brought in Lewis Dunk. I don't know, when I finish and connect my team together, I might put Lewis Dunk in defense. Maybe, but that's what I've done with my FPL. I used the wild card just because I wasn't really liking how everything was going. I wasn't liking how everything was going. And so I'm gonna get into my team, Arsenal. Title of the video is our midfield too thin. Is the title race over for Arsenal after match game 5? And so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show y'all the fixtures first. Yeah. So go down to the fixtures. Etihad, Brentford, simple. Liverpool, Anfield, Nottingham Forest, simple. You see me? I'm not gonna cover Manchester United at all, because this is a hard match for them. It's tough. I'm confused. I don't know what's gonna go on. Bournemouth versus Chelsea, West London Blue Cowboys. Aston Villa versus Everton. Like I said, man, Aston Villa are coming for top 4. It's plain and simple. Aston Villa will get 4th. And then North London Derby, Wolf versus Newcastle. Now, what I gotta say, North London Derby. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Go shout out to Gal. He has this. This is what I'm gonna show y'all. This is what happened to Odegaard. This is what happened to my captain. It's bad. And then it calls for people to start doing this. This calls for people to start doing this. I'm gonna do it too. This is what it calls for. Now, first of all, this is what I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm gonna do my own lineup. This is what I'm going to say. This is not on international break. People are going to say it's on international break. It's not on international break. No, it's not. This is a freak accident that happened during international break. It could have happened during the North London Derby. It could have happened anytime. It's not. When you have transfer windows, you have preseason, you have all of these things for you to prepare for the season. For the season. In your preparations for the season, in my personal opinion, you should have foresaw that someone's going to get injured, or even foresaw that key players will get injured, or players that is really hard to replace will get injured. Why I say really hard to replace? It's because there are few players you can buy of the quality of Odegaard. But what you can do, and I'm not saying we don't have the replacements not already there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to tell you why it's not international break. What you can do if you don't have players of the quality, or players that don't have special traits that could supplement missing a player like Odegaard. For example, I'll leave Jorginho as an example. Jorginho plays cutting ball, he can play good long balls that cut defense with kind of floater chips. He can play nice line cutting passes as well, right? That's what Jorginho can do. That's his strength. Doesn't mean he's of the same quality as Odegaard. He can't dribble, doesn't have the first touch, doesn't press, doesn't have any athleticism whatsoever. His tackling is kind of poor. He can't intercept, right? But he can do one thing that Odegaard can do. And so, in the case that we're saying, oh yeah, Odegaard's gone, but we got Jorginho. We can play Jorginho for like a 4 to 5 game run, and then because we have Ethan Nomari, we can have Nomari on the bench because Jorginho is no longer on the bench. So what I'm saying is that there should have been a plan already in place, and when I'm saying they should have, I'm of the assumption there is. Until the North London derby happens, and I look at the way we play, and I say there was no plan, I'm gonna say I'm of the assumption there is, because that's your job. Like Edu, Mikel Arteta, director of football, manager / coach, board of directors. This is your job to manage Arsenal Football Club, which means there should be contingencies for things like this, right? And so what I would say, I don't blame international break. It's a freak accident. It sucks. I personally do not know what Ethan Nomari can do. I know what Jorginho can do, and this is where it comes down to it. Jorginho, in my opinion, is like a Thomas Partey replacement, and Moreno, in my opinion, was maybe going to be like a Declan Rice rotational piece or a Partey rotational piece. And what I mean by that is maybe we would have continued playing Partey, Rice, and Odegaard until Moreno has fully learnt the system or fully integrated into the team. And then if Partey is playing well, we keep it going like that and just rotate Moreno with Rice. If Partey's not playing well, he gets injured, drop Rice to the 6, bring Moreno in. He's had his time to integrate into the squad. Bing, bang, boom. Then Jorginho, outright Partey replacement or outright 6 replacement if something happens to Partey or whatnot, right? So like in that scenario where I say that Partey gets injured, Rice is now in the 6, Moreno's in the 8, and now Jorginho can now come in for Partey. But if Partey's not injured, Moreno can come in, Jorginho can come in and just do what, like I said, Gundogan would do, right? And so this is where the problem comes in. Rice, in his infinite wisdom, decided to get a red card, right? And I'm gonna keep saying that he decided to get the red card because he like I said, is semantics when I say he didn't kick the ball, but he gave the ref the decision to make. So he in his head he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kick the ball, so I want a red card now, give it to me. He decided to do so. I'm not saying he's trying to escape from the game. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he wanted the red card because that's what he did. Okay, so his infinite wisdom's like, yo, I want a red card. Please give it to me. Thank you, ref. Sorry guys. North London derby. Yeah, I'm out. Okay, so then that's where the first problem comes in because Moreno's already injured. Rice knows this. He knows Moreno's injured. So now Rice is gone. Now Odegaard is injured. Odegaard is injured. So with the Rice thing, you're thinking maybe there's like lots of things you can do with that. Because when you still have Odegaard, what Odegaard does is that he is an 8, but he's an attacking 8, or you can just say he's a cam. I just say he's a cam, personally. I say he's a cam, and I actually say that we play a double pivot with 2 DMs. That's what I say. Because in my eyes, Rice is a DM, Partey's a DM. Partey is the line breaking DM, and then Rice is the destroyer, and that makes people believe that he's box to box, but he really is just destroying further up in the pitch and winning the ball further up, that which then puts him in positions where he can shoot from the edge of the box or make passes from the edge of the box or cross. Regardless of the tactics and whatnot, that's what we're feeling. Well, go on. What's good? What's good, King Colin? What's good, G? How is your day going, my G? Yeah. So I'm going back into this, yeah. So like I said before, Moreno's injured, and then Rice said, "Give me a red card, please." So he's out. Odegaard's out. That's 3 players. We had 6 midfielders. In my eyes, we had 6 midfielders, right? I don't know what. Like I said before, when the season starts, you have a plan. I don't know what Mikel Arteta's plan is, but we had 6 midfielders. We're down to 3, which means we have 3 midfielders. So we had Moreno, Jorginho, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Ethan Nwari, right? 6. We have a potential to have 2 more midfielders, but that's just you using your FM line jiggy thing. You get me? It's like, oh yeah, you know, like I want John Stones to be a DM in my team, so I move John Stones in there, and it works because it's FM. We don't know. You don't know until you see. I can predict. I can tell you what I want to see, but you don't know until then. And that's why I'm gonna kind of do my thing and try and show what I think is gonna happen or how we're gonna line up. First of all, in my opinion, this is all opinion. I think I'm trying to get the right one here. No, it's not that one. No, it's not that one. Actually, wait, it is this one. So this is what I get out of here, man. Like for real, get out of here. No, wait, not you. Wait. You know what? Yeah, this could happen. Right? That actually could happen. Do I want it to happen? No, I would prefer this. Because this is what everyone's been saying, right? This is what everyone's been saying. This is what they've been crying for, right? They're saying that our backline is the most flexible. They're saying that defensively, that's how we're winning the league. And so, Odegaard is out. And so, this is the real thing. Wait. This will be... You switch these two. This is the real thing, right? Is this what we're gonna do? Is this what we're gonna do? This I like this. This is what I want us to do, right? Can I share this? I wonder if I can share this. But this is what I want us to do. Now let me tell you why I want us to do this. You probably already know by the way this is lined up. Maybe this is not the correct way the formation goes. Like Yuzimi. Maybe it's not the correct way. I think it is though. But the reason I want this is because Kai Havertz is actually going to usually drops and plays a false 9, and so he'll drop into these areas right where my right in between Jorginho and Partey, and Saka and Trossard will work as like inside forwards / strikers. That's why I want this to happen. You could also theoretically have Jesus come in, but I think what makes more sense is to have Trossard, because he messed up versus Brighton. You know what? Yeah, people are a little bit too harsh because we got the card so early on inside the second half, and we're playing like when we're trying to play these games early on, we're just trying to get the result and try and get the result like 60%, right? And Trossard, correct me if I'm wrong, he's the player that did the cross where Odegaard should have scored. So if Odegaard scored that goal, we're rewriting history and saying that Trossard had a good game. Where really and truly, in my personal opinion, he had an okay game and Odegaard messed that up. But that's besides the point. The reason why I would prefer this, give Trossard another chance to start and prove that he can have an impact starting and not just off the bench. Kai Havertz is in form right now. In that game, he could have, like, the goal he should have scored 100%. That breakaway should have scored. It was a moment of brilliance though, to get him there, but he should have scored, right? You chip the last one, chip this one again. But then he's run a game where he got Saka involved to almost score was good too. So Kai Havertz is in form, right? Get Kai Havertz here, leave him here. Jesus is injured, let him recover. If Kai is not working, bring him in to form an impact. Saka, He's Saka, man. Saka's in form right now. People are saying he had a trash game. I don't know what people watch. People say they're not GA merchants, which is okay, but he didn't have a poor game. He had, when you get switched to 10 men, your game's gonna be your game could be completely different. He just had an okay game. It wasn't poor. It was just okay. He wasn't trash. Like, come on now. But yeah, like I'm trying to say, yeah. This is what I want us to do. This is what I think makes sense. We have a plethora of defenders. Don't try and put Havertz in midfield. Don't try and shoehorn people. Calafiori can play here. If Calafiori cannot play here, Timber can play here. If Timber cannot play here, Zinchenko can play here. We're not making Zinchenko a midfielder. We're not making Timber a midfielder, right? Thomas Partey, Jorginho. Jorginho, maybe he's the one that comes here. I don't know, right? Those guys play this position. They don't have that much mobility, which is why you have a three in the back. And you have, you can have Timber or Calafiori or Havertz to drop back and support them. But they don't have that pressing pressure. We have Trossard here, right? Trossard is our best clinical finisher at the moment. Best clinical finisher. We don't know what Sterling's gonna do. I actually watched all 100 of Sterling's City goals. I personally don't think that. I think that Sterling's gonna get a minimum of 9 goals for us this season, minimum. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking, right? And this is what I think makes sense. Now, last but not least, I was gonna play some football bingo. Hopefully this loads for me. Didn't I download this? Yeah, I downloaded it. Okay, this is Don Hussam's channel. I'm subscribed to Don Hussam. I say this all the time when I get into Yo, what's good, Miguel? Maybe we'll play football bingo. Well, how long do I have left? I have a couple minutes left. Maybe we'll play like one game of football bingo. But I say this all the time when you're on a YouTuber, you watch a video, you like it, you subscribe. And you put bell notifications on. Why do you subscribe and put bell notifications on? So you can see more of their content. So then you know if you like them. Then you don't have to be like, oh, I like them now, let me subscribe. No, subscribe right away. Like right away. It's simple. You get me? He's got timestamps. Makes it easy. Let's go to Arsenal. This is an Arsenal stream. I don't care. Let's go to Arsenal. Okay, this is what, first of all, I'm going to caveat this by saying, when I'm going to give my commentary, I'm not discrediting anybody in any particular way when they have their opinions. I'm just critiquing your opinions. I don't know you personally. I'm critiquing your football opinion, right? I'm not saying that you're not smart. I'm not saying you're stupid, blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying I'm critiquing your footballing opinion, right? It's like, unfortunately, like if we could have the conversation, this is what I would tell you if we had the conversation. I respect all of these man them for putting their cameras on and making that and doing their things. That's what I'm trying to do, right? So, no disrespect, right? Also, the link is inside the description for the video too. Let me just make sure that you guys can hear the video before I start.
Northside's channel is in the description as well. Go subscribe to XLB. Go subscribe to Northside LDN. You see me in both their chats as well regularly. So hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Northside, perfect segue. You get me? Arsenal.
Okay, so first what I'm gonna tell you guys is that the way he backs up his points, I don't think is valid.
Nothing's changed. We won't win the league. Nothing's changed. It's the same old. It's the same old issues that haven't been addressed. What do you want me to say on this club about this club I have not said before, bro? LB is completely 100% correct. I called this in the transfer window. Who is going to play when Odegaard is out of form or if he gets injured? Yeah, he wasn't the only one that was rubbish against Brighton.
So that's North Guy's first point. Who's going to play when Odegaard is out of form or injured? He's injured right now. We are about to see. So his first point, we're about to get an answer to that come Sunday.
But they were gassing up this Nwari boy, yeah, that is a young player. Well, why didn't he come on the pitch? Why didn't he come on the pitch? Because we're drawing the game and this manager's bringing on Calafiori, a defender, to win the game. There's more.
I want to let this thing run, but what I'm gonna say to this, a rebuttal for this is we're 10 men down. Why would we bring in a youngster that's done nothing? Or that doesn't make any sense. To me, it don't make sense. We're 10 men down. We have Saka on. We have Havertz on. They create opportunities they should have scored. But why would you bring Ethan Nawari on and substitute your captain for a kid? What's he gonna do? We don't know what he's gonna do. He's an unknown. You shouldn't be thinking about him. You should be thinking about who on the bench. And at that time, because we've just bought Sterling, he can't be on the bench. Medicals are not done, right? Jorginho isn't 100% fit, so there's two youngsters there instead of potentially Sterling. Jesus is injured. He's back now. Jesus is out, so potentially having on the bench Sterling, Jesus, and Gabriel Martinelli. Instead of having those three on the bench, we have children, and we don't have Jorginho. But I don't think that makes any sense.
Multiple things wrong with Arsenal as to why we're not going to win the league, bro. And Arsenal fans, as always, every single year, will ignore what I'm saying, ignore what Lee's saying, ignore what anybody else that calls out this club and says we haven't done enough, and will keep calling us negative until the end of the season. Then they'll go quiet. I'm used to this by now. I'm used to this. You know what I'm saying? And Wari was gassed up that this guy's going to be a baller. We're going to watch him play. The club put out that he's going to get more minutes. I think the Brighton game was a perfect game to bring him on. He couldn't have done any worse than Odegaard. Odegaard was trash. Lewis Skelly, why didn't he join the game? Matoma was absolutely cooking Ben White. Every time they were getting chances created, it was coming from Ben White's side through Matoma. Why not bring him on?
What chances did they create?
Timber didn't even look that great. So, listen, I don't understand. Thomas Partey and Declan Rice have been trash in the last two games. Rodgers absolutely cooked the both of them against Aston Villa.
Thomas Partey scored the second goal.
Rice was just stupid. And Arsenal fans always, they love an excuse. You know, the referee has to do his job. Okay, the referee has to do his job, yeah? Does the manager not have to do his job? Does the sporting director not have to do his job? Do the players not have to do their job? Because I don't see the same level of accountability that they put on referees to the people that are actually employed by my football club. I'm not sitting here saying that the referees are amazing, but let's not get it twisted. We already know that referees are rubbish. We all get managed by crap referees. It's not just an Arsenal thing. I agree. But we were rubbish before we got down to 10 men anyway. We were rubbish.
No, we weren't.
And at the end of the day, everyone was briefed at the start of the season as to time wasting and different things that you do on the pitch that could lead to getting booked. Declan Rice, you're in a yellow. When you're in a yellow,
I'm actually going to pause it. Okay. Reason I'm going to pause it is there's another point that he said that needs to be addressed. First of all, in my personal opinion, when the transfer deadline is done, even if we did sign any of the players, and this is not an excuse to Edu, I actually believe our window is a 5 out of 10. But what you need to do is look at everybody else's window, and this is not me saying that we shouldn't have done more. Look at everyone else's window, and who did get above a 5, right? In my opinion, City's window wasn't great as well. Liverpool's window was a 1 out of 10. So these are our competitors, and what did they do? We brought in more players. We left ourselves a bit short, but we brought in more players. Should we have picked up a Rabiot, which we can still probably do, but should we have picked up a Rabiot, right? Picked up one extra player, maybe, right? We will only see come Sunday. These are all hypotheticals. In Northside's mindset, which he's allowed to have his opinion, he believes that there are no solutions for these issues he's talking about currently on the squad, and we're not going to see anything progressive come Sunday. But what I want to address is, how can you be playing bad before the red card if we're 1-0 up and we had multiple opportunities to score? How can the phrase playing bad or playing good or performing well is all towards the goal of getting 3 points. If we're currently have 3 points and they're not showing any signs of opposing our 3 points before the red card, then there's no way you can be playing bad. We're playing okay.
In Odegaard and the rest of the players should be saying, don't do anything stupid. Just don't get involved. don't even give the referee a decision to make. Why
I
are you
agree
kicking
with
away
that.
the ball?
Yeah.
And let's keep it real. When he kicked away the ball, it was near their half. So it wasn't even in a dangerous area where, you know, you, LB, or yourself could tell me, Northside maybe just, you know, wanted to get everybody back into position. It was in their half. So everybody's already behind the ball. There was no need. It wasn't even in a dangerous area. They're probably most likely going to hoof it, and we would have headed it away and continued to play. So why do we put ourselves in that situation? But you see that
I agree with that, but then you also have to ask yourself or think about the ref. Like, why is Veltman kicking Rice? I 100% agree. You guys saw what I said about the whole thing with the Rice, and so if you're gonna be critical on your player, be critical with the ref and be critical with Veltman. Veltman should have received a yellow card as well.
that level of accountability doesn't exist at my football club. It's the referee. Is it the referee's fault that we missed 6 opportunities in front of goal to score?
I thought you said we
Because we had
played
6
terrible.
opportunities
How
to
did we
score
have
in
6
front of goal,
opportunities?
and we weren't clinical enough, and we would have won that game, and nobody would have been talking about going down to 10 men.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Arsenal fans have selective accountability, bro. When it's anybody that works for this football club, we just give them, it's just a free hit. Anybody can do what they want. When it's referees, pundits, YouTubers, you have to do your job. You're being like this, you're being like that, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's this, it's that. Why is there not the same accountability for the people that actually are paid by this football club? When you look on our bench, it's a joke, bro. It's a joke. Yeah, on our bench, we got Zinchenko, Kivio, Martinelli that's out of form, Calafiori, Jorginho that will not string together more than 2 or 3 good performances.
This is why I got us. Actually, no. Let him finish saying the bench.
At once. Lewis Skelly and then Wari that inexperienced and Setford that's inexperienced. You're telling me after 5 years, an £800 million spend that I should be having chest?
Okay, the reason I'm stopping it here is because this is what, like, as someone that is an Arsenal fan watching Northside talk, right? In my personal opinion, I think that this point is so invalid, and because he's a fan, he has all the context. Hussam and I'm blocking LB, they don't have any of the context, so they don't know why our bench looks like that. But you know why our bench looks like that, and you're choosing not to say why. 3rd game of the season, so this is not how our bench is going to look throughout the whole season, but we've already got 1 injury. That takes a midfielder out. We have 1 injury to attacker. That takes an attacker out. So you bring in 2. No, not even 2. Actually, you bring in 1 player that's in there that's not supposed to be there. I believe they actually brought in Skelly as what was it? Nomari, Skelly. I'm not too sure what the full bench was. But Jesus is coming back now. Sterling was only just purchased, and so he cannot be on the bench. You see how I've named 4 players that should be on our bench out of 9 that should be on our bench, and how that kind of makes our bench look different. Jesus, Martinelli, Sterling, Jorginho. That kind of makes your bench look different. Now, it's debatable because Sterling is a question mark. You don't know how strong he's going to be. Martinelli, he's a question mark because he's been in terrible form. Jesus, when he's on the field, he may not get GA, but he opens up the play for someone like Martinelli to get to do something. He opens up the play so Trossard can do something. We saw in preseason the combos that Havertz, Jesus, and Trossard were able to combine with each other to make. And so, for me personally, I feel like this point is invalid. It's only valid for that 1 game, not for the whole season, for the 1 game. And there's circumstances why it's gone that way.
I should be convinced. You that bench I've just called out, and yeah, people will say, oh, but we got Sterling coming in. Okay, so we got another system player. We don't need another system player. We now need players to get us over the line. Liverpool had Mane being clutch, Salah being clutch, Firmino turning up. If he's not clutch, he passes the ball and makes the right decision to get them over the line. Man City having KDB clutch. Foden is shown to be clutch last season. They had Aguero before. They had Tevez before. every
It, it, I'm not saying Kai Havertz is clutch, but even the last game of the season versus Everton, who showed up when we needed him? Yes, but in the Champions League, Kai Havertz wasn't there. But Saka scored in the Champions League versus Bayern. Was that not a big game? Did Trossard not score against Porto when we needed him to score? So there's three players, in my opinion, that have X factor. Because you're saying Sterling's a system player, that does not mean he doesn't have X factor. Literally every player on the planet is a system player. Having X factor is a trait. You play in a system, but you see that maybe what I'm being asked to do isn't going to work in this particular situation. So I have an ability in me to make something from nothing in that situation to help us get a goal, help us create something, or to create an opportunity for someone else to score. But it doesn't mean that once you've at that moment had X factor that you stop playing the manager's system. The manager has a system. He doesn't just tell you just do what you want to do. And even like, for example, someone like Cole Palmer, who Pochettino kind of gave like a free role, he still has a set of instructions he follows, and that follows with the system. Everyone's a system player. Like, I disagree with this point, because just because you don't rate Kai Havertz, you don't want to like validate him for some reason. Like, not for some reason, everyone just forgets Kai Havertz exists, and he scored 2 goals in 3 games. He's got an assist in one of those games as well, which was a beautiful assist, and he created a lot of opportunities in that Brighton game. We just want to forget that for some reason, and I don't quite understand it.
winning team has clutch players. Who's our clutch players when things go sideways? Who's our clutch players when we get into the latter stages in cup competitions? We didn't have any last season, and we still got the same bunch this season. So why should I have chest? Based on what? On hope? Because our defense is better. Our defense is better. One pass.
Well, you know what? The offside, yeah. Sorry, bro. To interrupt.
No, go on.
You know, a lot of the time when I hear Arsenal fans, when they talk about why they can win the league, like, not all of them, but most of the time they speak, it's always, I think City are going to be weaker this year, or I think City are going to be tired this year. It's never like...
Okay, and I'm going to pause it there and then just say my 2 cents on that particular point. Anyone that, like, I don't have that much. I'm fully blessed for the 29 subscribers that I have. But all of my 29 subscribers, like, you can all say that never, when in my prediction, when I say Arsenal's going to win the league, I did not mention City once. I don't care what City do. It's about what I think my team can do. It's the faith that I have, that I believe that Kai Havertz is probably going to get 17 goals this season. Saka is going to continue around the route where he's getting about 13 to 16 goals, right? And contributing. I believe Trossard, like, is going to continue around the trajectory of 12 to 15. I believe Jesus is going to get maybe about 7. And I never factored in Raheem Sterling in my prediction. Now Raheem Sterling's in, I think he's getting 9 goals. I think we have goals. It's just our players are different from City's players, from Liverpool's players. They're on the cuffs of being world class. They're not world class yet. But what I would say that our world class players are players that are kind of Moyes-esque football, Simeone-esque football, where they are defenders, and we rely on that, but we can still score goals. We've scored 5 goals. We scored 2 goals in our first game, 2 goals in our second game, and 1 goal in this game. We have not, like, until we don't score goals, then I'll be like, yo, we're not scoring goals. Then I'll be like, okay, maybe we can't use our defense to win, but we're scoring goals. And I, on this channel, do not mention City when I'm factoring us winning the league, right? But it's true. There are other Arsenal fans that may say that. I haven't seen any, but they might have to be.
Oh yeah, like, our signings were mint, you know what I mean? And we're gonna increase again. Like, we're gonna go. It's all. Whenever I hear Arsenal fans talking about why they can win the league, 90% of the time, they give a reason. They don't say why Arsenal are gonna win the league. They say why City are not gonna win the league. Do you get me? I need. You know what I mean? I'm looking at your transfer business, bro. And this is the thing with Arsenal, man. I think you got something in your DNA, yeah, that doesn't allow you to fully push for it. Because last year, you went out there and got Rice, right? And I was like, oh damn, they're actually like they're here to stay. And then you didn't quite do enough that window. I felt like you needed another one or maybe two. And then this transfer window this year, you got really close last year. You know what I mean? If you would have won that game versus Aston Villa, you would have won the league. Are you gonna go again? Are you gonna make signings that are gonna be scarier? And again, you just don't do it. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why you're
Why? Okay, I fully understand the point, and I agree. And I would say this is my rebuttal would be, is I agree that we should have signed one more attacker. I agree with that. One more attacker, or maybe one more midfielder. Right? Maybe someone that's a little bit more creative, but it's definitely like Fabian Ruiz, like someone like Fabian Ruiz. I feel like that would have been perfect, right? Another creator. But at the end of the day, like I said before, it's all fun and games until a ball gets kicked. Fund the transfers. You guys signed 2 players. I'm not comparing us in any ways. You are a better team. You have a better squad. You have more world-class players. But you signed 2 players, which means that coaching has a factor into us winning the league. And me personally, coaching is probably about 70% of us going in and winning the league. That's what I believe. I think coaching is about 70%. The other 30% is player quality and having a game plan, having multiple players in, and that's where the transfer window comes in. But like, we signed more players than both Liverpool and City. Should we have signed one more? Yes, but that's besides the point, man.
club doesn't go out there and make those signings, yeah, that are like scare me, scare Hassan,
We don't have to
scare all
scare
the
you,
City
though.
fans and Liverpool fans because
You
we're like, oh
don't,
damn.
because Savio doesn't scare me. Savio does not scare me. Gvardiol, when y'all signed him, he did not scare me. Haaland or Holland, that's different. But you don't have to be afraid of a player. The player just have to get on and do a job. That's it. It's simple, right? You may not be afraid of Kai Havertz because you don't think he's gonna do what I think he's gonna do. But my opinion of Kai Havertz is different from your opinion. My opinion of what Sterling's gonna do may be different to what your opinion of what Sterling's gonna do. Which means that you're not gonna be scared because you don't believe in my opinion.
And like you kind of did that a little bit last year with the signing of Rice, although it wasn't enough. And then this year, it's just like you've just gone back to the same old of just signing these
But
players.
LB, why would they, LB? Yeah, we got Havertz that nobody wanted before we signed him, but the fan base will justify it and back it to the cows come home. Then we get the bare minimum in Sterling, and the fan base come out and says, "Oh, that's all we could get." Well, hold on. I was calling for us to go and get those big players.
What
yeah?
did they mean, though, bro? What did they mean? That's all you could get. What does that actually mean? Like, you've got all this money, yeah, you're one of the richest clubs in the world, you get some of the biggest match day revenues out of any club in world football, you're in the Champions League, so you got the Champions League money. What are you on about when you say that?
Because in a transfer window, bro, yeah, I was calling up for signings. This club said, wait till the Copa America and the Euros is finished, and then we're going to get those signings over the line. We didn't. And people are talking about, oh, Arsenal are going to win the league because of our defensive record. But they were barking up about our defensive record last season, and it wasn't enough to get over the line.
By 2 points.
Yeah, because you can have the best
By 2
defensive record,
points.
yeah, and not concede every game. But if you don't score the goals necessary, guess what? You're dropping points. You ain't winning the league.
That's okay. When people say our defensive record is gonna win us the league, I don't know if this if I'm stupid, right? And when I heard them say that, I automatically think in my head that just means we're not gonna let them score, but we're still going to score. Maybe it's just me, but being a good defensive team just means that you're prioritizing them not scoring for large periods of the game. It doesn't mean in different periods of the game you're not trying to score yourself. At the moment, we have shown with 3 games that we're clinical enough to score 5 goals, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third game, which when we had 10 men, which arguably we could have still won that game at least 2-1 or 3-1. when you say we're trying to win with defensive record or our defense is our strongest suit, it does not mean we're not trying to score.
So you can't keep talking about defensive record like that's going to get you over the line. Yes, it's important, but so is your attack. So is your attack. If you don't score no goals, well,
we
guess
do.
what? You're getting the
We
3
score
points.
goals.
And people keep saying, "Oh, you got to get 90 plus points against City." Well, then you need to be winning games. And who is our match winners? Who is our match winners when the chips are down? Who's our match winners? Who's the person that takes the game by the scruff of the neck and says, "You know what? This game is mine. I'm turning up. I'm getting us through the game." Yeah, and people talk about it for 80% of the season, but I'm talking about that last 20 because when you want to improve, you look at where you're coming up short. You don't talk about just your strength. You talk about where you're coming up short, and that's how you improve. We're going out and getting defenders. Yes, I did want defenders because I felt like we were short in numbers in terms of quality. I'm still going to see about Calafiori and Timber. I'm not just going to say they're rubbish because I've not seen enough of them. Fair enough. But it was just as important to get a central midfielder because we got Declan Rice. After that, we got Jorginho. Nobody trusts Jorginho, which is why that Rice is out of the North London derby. You're seeing the real feelings about, oh, Rice is going to miss the game. But if you believed in Jorginho the way you told me, why are you panicking? Why are you panicking if you backed him? Then you look at Odegaard. The level from Odegaard to Nwari is night and day. Why have we not strengthened that? Then you look at Saka to Sterling. It's a major drop-off, bro. It's a major drop-off in terms of where Sterling is right now in his career.
Yeah. Right now. This is the thing with the Sterling thing, yeah. Like, it's the same as Havertz, isn't it? Let's be honest. This is exactly the same signing as Havertz. Like, it's a gamble, it's a risk, it could pay off, and if it pays off, fair play. But if you get the Sterling that Sterling's been for the last couple of years, and everyone's going to be like, what are you doing? Yeah, at the end of the day, you have money to spend, and you've not spent that money. And that, for me, is shockingly bad, because you're so close. You are so close to winning this league. You are so close to seriously competing in the Champions League. You're not a million miles away. You're 2-3 top-class players, yeah? And when as a rival, I just look at you and I'm like, part of me is now thinking to myself, is the reason my club only spent £25 million this summer because they look at your two clubs and you're not spending money, you're not improving that much in the window? Would my club have reacted? Say Northside, you went out there and signed a £60-70 million winger, yeah? Liverpool buy a DM, a couple defenders or whatever, and they spend 150 mil. Part of me thinking, would my club just sit there on 25 mil spend? Maybe not. I mean, maybe they would, maybe they're not. I don't know. But I just look at it, and you see the quote from Jose Mourinho last year, yeah, when he says he was asked about Pep Guardiola, and he said, didn't he? He said, I think Pep Guardiola's sitting there laughing. He said that's because he looks at the other two teams in this league, and he's just laughing, and that's what Jose Mourinho said, and I think it's probably true.
I'd love to like, you get me? I'm gonna say my opinion, which is completely different to both of you guys' opinion. I'm not gonna join in on the fuck Arsenal party. I'll tell you why.
Okay, good, because we need a positive.
Yes, I'll tell you why I think Arsenal are winning the league. Honestly.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right over here. One, because the stream's gone a little bit longer than I wanted it to go, and two, because in my personal opinion, like the person that should, this is just me, and this is what I see from it, and I'm not dissing Northside in any particular way. I actually believe a lot of these points have some truths to them, but they're half truths. They're not full truths, right? The bench situation, I gave the context, and then that tells you that most likely when next game our bench looks different, right? So that's not 100% entirely true. Game changers, I told you who our game changers are. He may not think they are, but it's shown throughout the season that they are, because of the fact that, we go to that Luton game. Calvert's was the one that scored there. Last game of the season, Everton, wasn't he the one that equalised? Saka has been whipping balls to Kai Havertz, and it seems that they have a synergy there, and Kai Havertz, even in the Brighton game, I saw it where he almost got his head to it. So it's like there's a synergy there. So second season for Kai, I think 17 goals. I think he's a game changer. But for middles, I'm not talking about the big boys. Maybe he will get there in the big boy games. He did have an assist versus City when we beat them, right? That's another instance where Kai Havertz has stepped up, but we want to ignore it, right? And Yeah, man. What I would say is that like, and this is just like obviously his criticism, but like I like Northside. He says he has lots of different points, and his points there's his opinions. He's entitled to it. It's football. You get me. It's nice to listen to people you disagree with, so you can think about other things. But what I think is that I don't think he likes Arteta, and so he says half truths. And he, in my opinion, unless we're on a winning streak, does not maybe play devil's advocate with himself, right? Like maybe play devil's advocate with yourself and say something you don't fully back and say maybe this is what we're trying to do, and I'm yet to see it, and so I don't have a full opinion on it, but this is what I think we're trying to do. That's what I think, because Hussam shouldn't be the person that's backing Arsenal. You're saying you have no chest, then fabricate chest and say I don't fully believe this, but this is what maybe we might do. For example, I'm gonna bring it up again. I'm not Mikel Arteta. I'm not a coach, right? I don't know how we're gonna set up come Sunday. But I'm like, this is what I think. I'm playing devil's advocate. We don't have Odegaard. They should have done some planning. This is fully possible with the players we've bought in this window. This is fully, in my eyes, this is possible. And so if you're looking at that, you're saying maybe we don't need a like-for-like replacement for Odegaard. We just need a tactical change to bring in two players that can play like line-breaking passes to then kind of not replace Odegaard, but replace what he brings to the table, what his elite thing is, which is creation. Not replacing the man. You can't replace his dribbling, can't replace his vision, can't replace his hair flicks, can't replace his goatee. But you can maybe just add another player in that does what he does at an elite level, close to his level, and bring in some other intangibles, right? This is fully possible. This is possible. And this is where I'm going to end. If we lose versus Spurs and City, is that our season over? No. There's still 33 more games after we played 5 games. City are not going to go undefeated. Does that mean that we're not in a title race? Well, everyone was crying like October and November last season, December, that we're not in a title race. We don't have the capability to do anything, blah, blah, blah. But then we got back into it and almost won. All we have to do is be solid. In my opinion, we just have to be solid in these next couple of games. In my opinion, we're going to beat Spurs. I'm not going to give my score prediction. City game, that's going to be the real test. And I think 3 at the back right now versus Spurs, run the same thing versus City, see how it flies, man. It's yeggooner. We're on a road to 1,000k. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. You feel me? Every little helps. I know this went on a little longer than usual. I feel like maybe I was going in ran a little bit. The full video or full stream of Don Hussam, that title, that was a really good stream. I really enjoyed it. Big up Northside, big up LB, big up Hussam. Beautiful content is free. You know what I'm trying to say. And much love to all of them. Much love to all of you guys. God bless.